It seems a lot of you are really confused about the Restrict Act and what it does, and more importantly, what it does not do. So let me start with this. I'm not saying this legislation is good or bad. I don't share opinions. I just want you to have the facts because it seems like a lot of people on this app have it wrong. So this video is intentionally long because it actually has the details as laid out in this 55-page bill. It's really important to understand the Restrict Act isn't new. I actually told you all about it when it was first introduced in this video on March 7th, and I talked about it several times since then. As I said then, and I'm telling you now, this only applies to information and communications technology products and services from companies based in countries the United States deems foreign adversaries and has more than 1 million US users or purchasers. The products and services can include desktop or mobile apps, gaming apps, payment apps, services integral to AI, robotics, biotechnology, and more. The countries specifically called out as foreign adversaries in the legislation: China, Cuba, Iran, Russia, North Korea, and Venezuela, but of course, more could be added to that list. So this would apply to any company owned or based in any of those countries that provides those specific types of products or services. The restrictions in the Restrict Act do not apply to US-owned companies, but it would impact US-owned companies that do business with those specific foreign companies that fall into those specific categories. If this bill is passed, those transactions could not happen anymore. The other thing to understand, the Restrict Act does not outright ban TikTok. Oh, no, 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 no. This legislation is much broader than that. The Restrict Act specifically gives the Department of Commerce broad power to investigate a foreign company and deem whether its products or services pose a national security threat. Once that determination is made, the Commerce Department gives the president an assessment of what should be done to squash the threat. One of those remedies could be a ban or a forced sale. Then this bill would give the president alone the power to implement the remedy he or she sees fit. And yeah, if it's passed, there are both criminal and civil penalties for those who violate the restrictions that could include fines up to $1 million or 20 years in prison. The Restrict Act is more about a procedure that can be harnessed by the U.S. government against companies based in countries that the U.S. government deems foreign adversaries and a national security threat. The last thing to understand about the Restrict Act, there's wide bipartisan support for this bill, but that doesn't mean this is over. This bill can still change as it moves through Congress. So in the meantime, I will send out the Restrict Act bill language again tonight in my NewsGirl News Roundup email. It is actually an easy 55-page read.